welcome to Opening Lines. I'm Jaromy Henry. This is the blog where we dissect the opening sentences of popular works of fiction. Few people outside of the writing community know how much blood, sweat, and tears go into crafting the perfect opening line. And for that reason, I want to bring attention to the incredible work that a writer puts into these first few words. Today, we will examine Geoffrey Eugenides' Middlesex. Okay, this book has got one of the most interesting opening lines that I have seen in a while. The opening line for his book says, I was born twice. First as a baby girl on a remarkably smogless Detroit day in January of 1960, and then again as a teenage boy in an emergency room near Petoskey, Michigan in August of 1974. Hold on. What? Exactly. That's how the author wants you to react. So let's break this down. I was born twice. First as a baby girl on a remarkably smogless Detroit day in January of 1960. Alright, the first four words can be interpreted in a religious sense because most Christians believe in being born again. From those words alone, maybe there's nothing new here. But hold on, the weirdness is coming. So first as a baby girl on a remarkably smogless Detroit day in January 1960. Okay, we're actually making a comment about age and gender. So if the next line were to say, but then again as a woman, still nothing new here. But it doesn't. But let's also, before we get to that, let's also take the serene January day, which is important because it was a nice day. The reader envisions a calm, peaceful day. Maybe there was a light snow. It might have been picturesque. But everything from that vision is about to change. Because then again, as a teenage boy. Now here's where everything changes. How does one go from being born a baby girl to being born again as a teenage boy? Now what's happening here? Is it metaphorical or is it literal? So the next part says, in an emergency room near Petoskey, Michigan in August of 1974. Okay, in an emergency room? That seems pretty literal. And if this story was about a transgender child who had an operation to reassign her sex, wouldn't this be scheduled and not in an emergency room? So we know something is going on. Something big. So the scene has definitely changed. We went from a calm day as a newborn baby in 1960 to the madness of an emergency room 14 years later. Now when I picture an emergency room, I think of something that happened very unexpectedly. Maybe it was an accident or a major health scare, some kind of crisis. And since this is when the narrator describes becoming a teenage boy, this alludes to a major plot point that's coming in the book. So in this line, becoming a teenage boy appears to be completely unexpected and accidental. So what just happened? Now if you want to find out, you'll have to read more than the opening line. And you can pick that book up online anywhere you want. Barnes & Noble, Amazon. But it was a great opening line, and it's so far in doing this, in this journey of examining these opening lines, this one really, really was great. So that's all for today. Until next week, I'm Jaromy Henry. Thanks again.